All right, getting things started here for Game 3 of Week 1, Day 2 of the Commonwealth League. Of course, back with you, I am LaRue, your play-by-play caster for Game number 3. And back with me once again is my trusty color commentator, Summer Grimm. Summer, two very good games here in Game 1 and Game 2. What are we looking for here in Game number 3?
Well, going into game number 3, I have to go straight off the bat and say yesterday, Mediocre at Best had an incredibly strong showing.
Yeah, definitely really good showing against what was Nocturnal Dragons at the time. We saw Nocturnal Dragons. They're maybe a mid-tier team this season as they were able to pick up the victory here tonight. But you do see a loss of ban for Mediocre at Best. They did have an E-sub for today's game, and it's going to be an RAWR ban coming out from Lionheart and also a Thresh as Draven going to be taken away by Mediocre at Best.
The Mediocre at Best mid laner, Dumb KT, plays a lot of Ahri and is really good on it, so definitely not surprised by the Ahri ban there. And Zabuti does play a ton of Thresh, so not surprised by that one at all either.
Yeah, so we do see Thresh taken away, waiting on the final ban, at least in this phase, from Mediocre at Best, and it's going to be the Aurelia taking that away from BB. Actually, not, well, maybe BB, maybe Frozone.
Yeah, Aurelia definitely a flex pick for Lionheart Esports, because it is BB and especially Frozone that play that champion.
Yeah, so we do see a Taliyah ban taking that away from maybe the jungle, maybe the top, maybe the mid. Taliyah, of course, one of the more versatile champions in League of Legends, and so we will see our first pick come out as Mediocre Best. They will go ahead and pick first. Waiting on the countdown here as we've seen, for the most part, pick bans going very quickly or very slowly, depending on which two teams are playing. Mediocre at Best a lot slower with their first pick, and it's going to be Morgana taken first by Mediocre at Best. Looks like they're going to go ahead and give Zabuti one of his favorite champions, as we'll wait to see the response. First two games, Summer, we've seen bot lanes shown priority, as both teams on the red side in both Game 1 and Game 2 picking up their full bot lane on the first rotation. But this time, not going to see that, as it is going to be the Silas picked, and somewhere one of our coaches sneezes. He's smiling. He's probably asleep, but he's smiling and he doesn't know why.
Exactly. He's having dreams about Silas right now.
Silas, one of his, well, he thinks Silas is always a very, very strong pick, and you do see the Nami as well, so it is going to be a support picked up to respond to the Morgana. So we'll see how Mediocre at Best responds. Of course, last night they played Xayah Rakan. Not going to be the case this time round with the Morgana lock-in.
And the Morgana has been a very popular pick tonight. She's in a super strong place right now, really good with CC, and also blocking CC with that black shield.
So we see Gangplank going to be picked up by Mediocre at Best. Second straight game we have seen Gangplank, so I assume that one will maybe go top. Of course, could go mid as well for Dumb KT. But again, Firelord Bob Joe, as his full name states. We'll just call him Firelord from here on out. Don't really know a whole lot about him, but that very well could be a Gangplank. But then we see a Pyke come out, and so that is an interesting thought. Is that going to be a solo lane Pyke, Summer? Or is that going to be a solo lane Morgana? Something's got to give there.
You know, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say with the Ahri band, Dumb KT is going to be taking that Morgana.
Maybe a champion that he enjoys there. Of course, Pyke, they did nerf his wave clear maybe a couple patches ago, so not the force he once was. Still possible. I have seen people get fed on Pyke mid, but of course we're also talking about the people I see in solo queue there. As you do see Sivir, it's going to be the AD carry for Lionheart, and a Kai'Sa ban keeping that away from Gavrilo Princep. I know I've heard that name before. Time to do a quick Google search.
He was the same ADC that played for them yesterday on the Xayah. He had a very good show.
I meant in a historical sense, and he was also the guy who pretty much started World War I. So, anyway, Malphite ban for Mediocre at Best. He assassinated Archduke Ferdinand, and I knew that. I just had to think about it for a second. But the Malphite going to be taken away from Lionheart. We won't see the Malphite jungle, but we do see an Ezreal ban as well. It's taking away a couple AD carry choices from Princep. And now we'll wait and see what Mediocre at Best wants to end our ban phase with.
And that Malphite ban going against Garmore there, he played it in yesterday's games and went 10-3-7. So definitely a strong pick to take away.
Definitely a strong meta pick overall, but the Nocturne ban going to be the final ban for Mediocre at Best. So we'll see. Lionheart, they do, well, depends on where they send that Sylas. Of course, Sylas making things really difficult. I can assure you that maybe they need at least one solo laner, maybe two. But
I'm again going to go out on a limb here. I think that's going to be a Sylas top for Frozone.
All right, and so maybe a mid laner, maybe a jungler here. We'll see something here in about 2 seconds. Actually, there's going to be the Jarvan. So your hunch is correct, at least partially, is that will be a solo lane Sylas and Jarvan in the jungle. Of course, unless we've got some major spice on the way with the Jarvan solo lane. But we'll maybe get some clearer answers here as Mediocre at Best picks up their final 2 champions. Definitely a longer pick ban than usual. We've seen a lot of quick picks in the first 2 games, but there's the Hecarim. That's going to be going to the Mediocre at Best jungle, and Ilya, I think we may have saw him on it yesterday. You're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong there.
Ilya did not play yesterday. He is fresh to the roster today.
We did see a Hecarim, though, yesterday, did we not?
We did.
Yes. And so, well, that would be spicy, as you do see the Mumu hover. But no, it's going to be the Lucian, I believe, as they are going to go ahead and lock that one in. I was about to say, then who's the AD carry? But no, it is going to be Lucian. We'll have to see which one of those champions goes to the support role. We'll have to wait for the actual champ select on the client to find that out. But I think you're right there. I think we're going to see a Lucian Pike and a Morgana mid. But the pick for Lionheart looks like they might be looking for a mid here, as that is the Kassadin hover. And it looks like it'll be locked in. So it will be Kassadin mid. It will be Sylas top. As you do see here, the comps have been set. It looks like it's going to be Gangplank on top for Mediocre at Best. It's going to be Hecarim in the jungle. Once again, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Morgana in the mid lane, Lucian in the AD carry spot, and Pike support. As for Lionheart Esports, you've got Sylas up top for Frozone. Jarvan the 4th is going to be on that jungle, or is going to be in the jungle. Kassadin for BB, and then you have a Sivir Nami bot lane. So back over to the client. We'll just wait things out. We'll get everything certain. What champion is going where? Just the one that I am maybe about 90% sure on. But Summer, it's been a very interesting first day. Of course, we saw one team pick up. We see now that we have 4 1-1 teams. Actually, 3 1-1 teams at the outset of, well, actually at this point. Of course, we saw G3 Reapers. They went down for the first time in game number 1. We saw, of course, actually, my math is off today, but we see 2 1-1 teams as Nocturnal Dragons were able to claim their first victory over Monster Mash. And so we have an opportunity here, depending on who wins this one. If Lionheart's able to pull it out today, you would have 4 1-1 teams, 1 2-0 team, and 1 0-2 team. But of course, Mediocre at Best, if they have anything to say about it, they're going to want to pick up this victory and put themselves in a first place situation, a tie for first place with RAWR here at the end of week number 1.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how it turns out. Like I said, Mediocre at Best came out swinging yesterday with a really strong showing. Lionheart held their own against RAWR, but ultimately did find that defeat. So I'm hoping they make that comeback.
Yeah, also interesting to note, though, as we have seen a lot of roster changes from Saturday to Sunday. A lot of teams bringing out different players. I don't want to say for certain, but I think we've actually seen more teams come in with a new roster and have actually stayed with their current roster. I do know Monster Mash at least kept their same roster into day 2. I have to think about it. I don't have that great of a memory, but you do see here, it is going to be top lane Gangplank, top lane Sylas, and there it is. It is going to be, well, maybe they're just messing with me, as Dumb KT still has not locked in that Morgana.
There we go.
So that will basically confirm it is going to be the mid lane Morgana, jungle Hecarim, and BB will lock in the Kassadin as we continue to roll right along. Just remember, if you haven't hit that follow button just yet, go ahead and do so if you like what we've got here. Of course, mostly a gold league. Of course, we have a few silver players, including a couple in this game here coming up, and a few plat players as well. Kind of a unique rule. I haven't seen it everywhere I've gone, but these teams allowed, I believe it's at least one plat 3 player one plat player up to plat 3. No plat 2 or above.
Yep.
And you can't have 2 playing at the same time. So definitely an interesting little rule. It's kind of fun to see how teams utilize that. Of course, some people, you might think, well, does the plat player maybe kind of offset things? Well, not exactly, because when you think about it, Summer, the team that is 0-2 right now, Monster Mash, they have a plat player.
They do. They have a plat jungler in Catastrophe.
So plat players, not actually that big of an impact here in this one. Of course, yesterday, also a spicy moment with some rules and all that. And so realized that a team that maybe was utilizing a player they shouldn't have ended up losing that game as well. So definitely a lot of spice in this league. And it's really kind of a league where you can't really decide what's going to happen until it actually happens. Even playoffs in last year's season 1 definitely did not go the way everybody thought they were going to do, or they were going to go. So almost to the end of Champ Select here. Of course, remember, we will have a 3-minute delay at the end of this minute as Pro Draft kind of stretches things out.
That it does.
Can personally tell you, not a fan of Pro Draft. I think it's kind of useless. I don't think you need to, I don't think Pro Draft is really a necessity. I think you just need to buy champions. If you're really that concerned about it. I mean, that may make me sound like a rich boy, but I'm just not a fan of Pro Draft and the way it stretches things out. But I think it's just another strategic element to the game. But anyway, 3 minutes until we get into game number 3.
And going into, the first week of CWE Season 2, there's going to be a lot of team changes as everybody figures out exactly what rosters they want to have. So not only are the teams constantly moving around, but CWE as an organization is going to be as well, as we try to figure out how exactly we're going to handle things. Pro Draft, definitely not something that was super planned for, but we'll have it nice and good looking by next weekend, I bet.
Yeah, definitely. I know I was at least. If we're going to use Pro Draft, at least we stream it. That was a big change from yesterday to today. So I'm a big fan of the fact that at least we're streaming Pro Draft now and not kind of keeping everyone in the dark. It means I have to talk a little more, yes. But it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make for stream quality and the people's quality. I am a man of the people, Summer. I give the people what they want. But do need to wait out this 2.5 minutes. Week 2, of course, next week, Saturday and Sunday. Going to be a lot of fun. I don't know the schedule. I think the schedule is up.
It is. It's actually up for the entire next 5 weeks.
That's a little bit more planning than we had all of last week. But anyway, or last season. But let me go ahead and find it. Where did I put it? So I can tell you about who is playing next week before we get into game here. I have it pulled up. I got it. Next week. Oh. Yeah, I got it. We are going to see Monster Match. It's the first matchup next week on Saturday. Going to be Spice 2-0 versus 0-2. But you do have Mediocre at Best taking on Monster Mash. You'll have Nocturnal Dragons. They're going to look to knock out in a well, actually, I shouldn't say 2-0 because Mediocre at Best is playing. I'm getting confused with the actual 2-0 team in RAWR. They have Nocturnal Dragons coming up next week. So Mediocre at Best, maybe that's a 2-0 versus 0-2 matchup as they take on Monster Mash. But RAWR, they are 2-0. They will face the 1-1 Nocturnal Dragons. And then Lionheart, they'll either be 1-1 or 0-2 after tonight. They will take on G3 Reapers next Saturday on September 28th. So going to be a lot of fun. Hope to see you next week as well as we continue to iron things out here at the outset of Season 2. A completely different look from Season 1, but a lot of changes for the better as we kind of swing into the new season.
Going back into kind of the champ select that we have here, looking at rosters, Silas has a great selection of ults to choose. Especially even just looking at the GP ult, taking that can help a team fight so much and can turn any team fight too. So it'll be interesting to see how much he utilizes it.
Yeah, you mentioned Gangplank, but also think about the Hecarim, think about the Morgana, think about the Lucian, and think about the Pyke as well. You want to see a Silas just executing people across the map even better than he already does. Then just wait until Frozone maybe gets his hands on that Pyke ult. But it's going to be up to Firelord up in that top side on that Gangplank to kind of keep that Silas down. I think that's going to be the pick to watch here, as a Silas, definitely a powerful pick if you let him get ahead. Of course, it's all about the person piloting it. We'll see how Frozone handles himself on that Sios. Of course, Kassadin, he's the late game carry. If we see this game maybe go to the 30, 40-minute mark, we might see that Kassadin become more and more important. And of course, you know what they say about Sivir. It's just a Sivir comp. You group up and you win. So heading into the loading screen, once again, Summer, you know what? I'll let you take it away this time because I don't want to start talking to my client crash again. But who's got the better skins here this time around?
Okay, well, you know me, and I am a
already know.
huge fan of the Darkstar skin line.
But are you a fan of Darkstar Jarvan?
I'm a fan of Darkstar, okay? That's all that matters.
Anyway.
So, definitely have to give it to the Darkstar Jarvan and the Cosmic Reaver Kassadin. That's my favorite Kassadin skin. But we also have Arcade Hecarim, and who doesn't love Arcade Hecarim?
I feel like
that was fast.
I feel like I see more Arcade Hecarims than regular Hecarims. So
it's because it's the best skin. He's the Rainbow Pony Man just running around the map. It's great.
I don't think I see a whole lot of Hecarim skins in general besides Arcade. I know Haunting Hecarim people like just because he's got a pumpkin for a head. But I think he does. I have to think about that for a second. I know there's a pumpkin involved somewhere. But either way, we are in game. Let's stop thinking about that. And we'll see how these two teams decide to start things out. Just a side note, because this was a thing yesterday. And I wasn't actually... A lot of people weren't actually sure about this. You might notice the support for Lionheart Esports. G3 Atro... Or Atro? Is it Atro? Or is it Ultro?
It is a capital I, so I would assume Atro.
Atro. We'll call him Atro then. He has G3 in front of his name. And we do have a G3 team in here in G3 Esports. Yeah, actually, we do have ourselves an invade. And so,
with the Pike, I'm not surprised.
We'll have to see here as they walk up the wall, going to try to hide themselves from the Nami. Nami actually going to back up. The flash is out from the Pike. Actually, also the Pike, the Nami flash as well. So flash for flash, but the invade not finding anything there. In fact, Sivir going to go ahead and land a Q for good measure, as we do see Mediocre back out for now. But flash for flash, both supports not going to have that engage at least for the time being. And I think that actually hurts Pike a little bit more than the Nami.
Level 2 Pike will still have his dash, which also leads into a stun.
But now he doesn't have 2 dashes.
True.
Did you ever think about that?
Dash on dash.
But anyway, it looks like we're going to have ourselves 80 carry starts. No 5 points for this time out for both these teams. We saw game number 1, game number 2. The 5-point was the most popular start. But this time, everybody just going to go ahead and gather around their buffs, as it is going to be a bot side jungle start for both Ilia and GARMOR.
Interesting to note, the Morgana started Corrupting Potion. I think for a lot of Morgana mids, the regular is sometimes Dark Seal. So maybe she's going for more of a sustain lane here, hoping to just keep mana full for all those Ws and not really looking to kill onto the cast.
Yeah, of course, also the Corrupting Potion working pretty well in synergy with the W, as there's the hook not coming down, but Ultra, he's going to take a lot of damage. The W, he's going to have to heal himself. Does do so, taking quite a bit of damage, down to about 40% of his health, as Sivir able to walk away as well, actually putting quite a bit of damage onto GAVRILO on the Lucian. Another Sivir Q going to connect, but looks like we may have ourselves our first gank of the game, as down comes the Hecarim. Remember, Sivir still has flash, but no, the Nami does not. There is the Sivir flash, as Hecarim just going to keep continuing on a few auto attacks from the Nami on the way out. But you do see here, the bot lane of Mediocre At Best going to be a focal point here after the gank from Hecarim. So, do you see here, Jarvan focusing on farming for the time being, already 8 CS up on Ilia, on the Hecarim.
And looks like he's going to look for that blue side invade.
Okay, do you see here, Ilia does have the blue buff thwarted. So that is going to be something to note, as they will know where he is. But some fighting in the bot lane is GAVRILO Princep. He's actually going to claim first blood, taking down JJ Doggy. As we were so focused on the Jarvan invading that we didn't even notice that they were fighting down there. But now you see Jarvan, he's actually going to find the gangplank. We're going to have ourselves a little bit of an on-attack battle, maybe a little bit of a 3-on-3 skirmish here, as everybody's coming up here. BB on the backside of the fight, but KT, he's actually going to claim the first kill of the fight, as he's going to take down GARMOR. Frozone claims the return kill, though, as he's able to find the kill onto Firelord. The fight continues here as Frozone, he's going to be taken down low, continuing to land some abilities, but KT claims his second kill of the fight. We'll see how much BB can claim here on the Hecarim, as he is going to keep taking damage, and eventually he falls to Ilia. 3-for-1 fight, as actually 2-for-1, well, 3-for-1 fight, that's correct, as Mediocre At Best takes an early advantage into this one. Already almost 2K gold up here at 4 minutes.
And that Morgana coming out of that with 2 kills. It's dangerous to underestimate that Morgana damage and think of her as a support, because in the mid lane, her W and Q can do so much damage when she starts putting points in.
As we see here, 4 minutes, 1.5K gold lead. Most of that here on the Morgana. Actually, 700 gold up on the Kassadin here at this stage of the game. Morgana, gonna note, she's gonna be pushing waves, gonna force that Kassadin maybe to farm under tower for the most part, but actually Morgana looks like she might be getting ganked here. The Dark Binding is going to connect onto the Morgana, but waiting out the flag and drag. Nice job from Garmore. Looks like they're gonna try to give the kill over to Kassadin, but Garmore, he's gonna go ahead and try to go ahead and take the kill himself as he plants one more auto attack into the back of the Morgana for his first kill of the game. Another skirmish up top side as Firelord's going to be taking some damage from Frozone on the Sylas. The spell shield is not actually going to find anything as Nami going to step in front of it. She's going to be taken low. Princep going to claim his second kill as Sivir trying to bait out the hook with the spell shield, but Nami walking right in front of it and then dying as a result.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication.
A little bit of a misplay there as now 5 kills to 2 in favor of Mediocre at best. They're coming out swinging. Definitely one of the bloodier games we have seen. Of course, that level 3 fight, the level 2 fight.
A lot of skirmishes.
Sorry.
No, you're good. A lot of skirmishes happening and just keeping everybody on their toes. The Morgana had the double buffs, and I was going to comment on how great that would be for her with the blue, and then got them taken right back away, and then followed straight up by a fight in the bot lane.
Yeah, so the level 2 fight, we'll see how much that affects the game here. You do see already a lost chapter. There we go for the Morgana. That's going to help her push those waves tremendously, forcing the Kassadin to farm. Of course, Kassadin doing pretty well for himself so far, at least in terms of CS. He does have the 10 CS lead over the Morgana, but gold-wise, it is still about 300 in favor of Dumb KT. Of course, it is a 700 gold lead for the Lucian over the Sivir here at 6 minutes. As you see the bubble actually coming down onto Ilya. The Sivir Q also going to connect. There's the Ignite drop down from G3 Ultra. He's going to go ahead and flash. He's going to find the kill with the empowered auto. Hecarim a little bit too far, maybe looking for the dive. Instead, he's going to die.
Looking for the dive, going towards the blast cone and not hitting it.
Yeah, did not hit the blast cone, ended up dying for it, but the kill is going to go onto the Nami, so not too bad. As you do see Kassadin, he's going to be level 6, so he's going to get a little bit of movement there, a little bit more mobile now, a little bit maybe more of a threat here into this Morgana. As you do see Jarvan hovering around the mid lane, going to spot out that control ward, going to go ahead and destroy it real fast. But you do see here's another engage onto the Sivir as Lucian going to find his full rotation. The nice bubble, though, to keep Princep from doing any more damage. As we've seen bot lanes, once again, we have seen some aggressive bot lanes, and we might see another fight here. There's the Ultra just going to go down as Princep just lands the full rotation. There's the Gangplank ultimate coming down onto the Lucian, going to find a little bit of damage, but Sivir not in a place to follow up.
Ult.
Oh yeah, that was the Sylas using the Gangplank ult. I forgot we had a Sylas in the game. But it is still a Gangplank ult, just not the right Gangplank. But either way, Hecarim, he's going to come in for the gank. There's the real Hecarim ultimate as he is going to find Sylas. Sylas just going to go ahead and run away. Firelord not able to find any barrels. Frozone going to go ahead and leave without having to use any of his summoners. Didn't have any summoners, so of course you can't really use anything.
Firelord trying to do that really nice 3-barrel chain and just barely missed it.
Yeah, so 8 minutes here in this one, 13.3k gold for Mediocre at best. That's going to translate to a 1.6k gold lead overall for Mediocre at best. As you see the blue buff being given over to BB on the Kassadin, going to help with his mana problems a little bit, maybe help him be a little bit more aggressive.
If you love your mid laners, give them blue buffs.
Exactly.
Also, important to note, Lucian with a blue buff right now too. He got that off of their kill on Nami earlier.
And Nami got that blue from the Hecarim, if you want to trace that one back there. But yeah, if my memory serves me right. But either way, let me think about it for a second here. As you see Morgana taking out the control ward, but Kassadin may be thinking about something a little bit, gonna try to find the E damage, does so, but then ends up eating a Dark Binding to the face for it. You see here on the dragon is Mediocre at best. This is an Infernal Drake, Looks like they're going to take it without too much trouble. They do. And that's the first Drake going down here about 9 minutes. Going to give everybody a little bit extra damage moving forward.
So Jarvan's on his red buff. Important to note that during that dragon take, Sylas actually got a really deep ward into their blue side. So definitely helping out jungler.
Vision's certainly important. Here we have Frozone roaming into the mid lane, going to steal the Morgana ultimate, but Dumb KT with a nice binding there to freeze Sylas in his tracks, not allowing him to go any further. You do see here, Frozone actually a little bit behind in CS to the tune of maybe 3 or 4 as a Firelord continues to farm up top. The hook is going to find the spell shield of Sivir, but they're just going to jump onto Itro. This is the execute there as Zabuti going to pick up his first kill with the ultimate. As that is now a 3-0 Lucian. That is a strong bot lane down there. Here's a jungle gank onto Dumb KT. The ultimate is going to find it. They haven't killed him just yet. There's a dark binding coming down on the Jordan. He's going to go down. They just did not finish the kill fast enough. And Dumb KT is able to find the kill onto the Jarvan. Not sure if they were trying to give the kill over to BB or what. But in the end, unfortunately for them, he found himself taking a few more tower shots than he should have. And he goes down for it in the end. So 9 kills to 4, and you do see here the bot lane of Mediocre at Best continuing to push down this tower. They now have almost all of the plates. They already have 3 plates, just need to take down 1 more, but they have just really started to... I've noticed a pattern with the Mediocre at Best bot lane, and that is first taking out the Nami before they start to focus on that Sivir. Hold on, here, we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. As Ilya, he's going to have to go on the run, as you do have the Sylas and the Cassidy invading Mediocre at Best turf. Now we're going to have ourselves a bit of a skirmish here. The Dark Binding is going to come down on the KT. They don't find the kill onto the Hecarim. That's another kill for the Morgana. Morgana showing up at just the right time. BB, he's going to be on the run. Looks like he's going to get out, but a nice turnaround for Mediocre at Best to kill the invading Sylas.
They were using that earlier vision that Sylas had gotten and just didn't have quite enough people there to fully win that team.
That team fight, I know what you were trying to say there, but either way.
Group fight.
onto the Rift Herald is Mediocre at Best. Garmore in the area, he's going to try to come in and steal it. I don't know if he took it. I think it was actually Mediocre at Best who took that, as it is going to be Ilya picking up the Rift Herald buff. I saw a smite. It doesn't give you a notification. I don't know why it doesn't do that, but it was in fact Mediocre at Best taking down the Rift Herald there, and Ilya, he'll have himself a nice empowered recall for the time being. You do see Pyke, he is going to be in the mid lane. Maybe looking for the hook down onto the Cassidy. Cassidy with a little bit of mobility though, not sure how effective a gank would be unless you lead it with have the follow-up Dark Binding to maybe put him down for a little bit. That's the word I was looking for here. But you do see the gold lead continuing to extend. This has been, I think, Summer, dare I say, the most one-sided early game here tonight.
Especially for the early game, I think a lot of that comes from that just unexpected Morgana damage. I don't think a lot of people expect her to have just that much power in a solo lane.
Yeah, certainly. So here we go. Looks like the Rift Herald was summoned down on the bot side. They're going to try to get the first tower down low. Garmore, he's going to be there for the shutdown kill onto the Pyke, but now they're going to have to go ahead and run away. The Sivir ultimate is popped. Gabriel Princep, he's going to try to find kill number 5. Already 4-0 here in this game. Looks like they're going to go ahead and back off. BB, he's coming. So is Frozone. Frozone TP'd in the back of that fight. Gabriel Princep, a lot of damage down, but it's not going to be enough. Sivir gets herself on the board with the nice shutdown for the tune of 650 gold.
Super good shutdown on the Lucian, definitely worth it. I'm happy to see that the Sylas, Frozone, took the initiative to TP into the backline.
Yeah, definitely nice initiative from the side of Lionheart Esports. Not maybe a little bit, when you're behind, you want to make more proactive plays, and that was the right call there. Frozone TPing in on the back of that fight. Of course, first tower does go over to the side of Mediocre at Best, so all in all, they'll happily take that first tower, but they do lose 2 in the process, as you do see here. Still a 6K gold lead for the side of Mediocre at Best. Of course, a fun day of games, Summer, and this one's shaping up to be no different. As while it is a 6K gold lead, and while we see Mediocre at Best in the lead thus far, wouldn't be the first comeback we've seen here in the Commonwealth League.
No, always expect the comeback, especially if they're willing to make plays like that and try to do some risky maneuvers and they pay off. Getting that shutdown gold onto the Sivir helps her a lot when it comes to facing this 4-in-1 loot.
Yeah, Mediocre at best going to pick up another dragon. That, of course, being the Cloud Drake. And Hecarim not done yet, as he's going to jump onto Itro. Itro going to land the bubble, but it looks like he's just going to go down. Ilya lands the Q. And that's going to be another dead fish. 1 and 5 for the Nami. Not the start I think he was wanting here in this game. But as I was going to say before that happened, here at the Commonwealth, we have seen a 5v4 victory. So anything can happen. I think we all remember last year. Or last season. Those of us who were around remember that 5v4 victory. As that was certainly something, given, of course, the team that got beaten in the 5v4 was winless at the time, to the tune of like 0-8, but you still expect to win 5v4. But anyway,
definitely some interesting events from last season, and I'm expecting a lot, just as many this season.
Yeah, of course, got a long season ahead of us, 5 weeks and playoffs. Of course, playoffs, I believe, will be best of 3 or best of 5. I'm not sure. I know it's in the rules.
Best of 3.
I didn't read the rules, but probably something I should do. But yeah, I know playoffs, at least, we'll have ourselves some series instead of best of ones. But we're not looking to be here all night, so every game during the season, just the best of one. Just like the LCS, just like the LEC. Not like the LCK. Somebody would have to tell me what it is in the LPL. I don't watch China. But I don't know if it's best of 1 over there or a best of 3. I know the OPL does best of 1. Somebody asked me about the OPL sometime. I would love to talk about Australian League of Legends with somebody. I think it's the funnest thing in the world. But either way, I digress. 15 and a half minutes. 6K gold lead still for Mediocre at best. And you see here, looking at the individual gold, it's a 1K gold advantage for Morgana. But we'll have to talk about that here in a second. As there's the gank onto Silas. It's a 4-man dive. Throws down. We'll see how well he stays alive. It looks like it's not going to result in anything, though. Ilya going to be minion blocked. He's going to have to waste the flash to go ahead and get out that lone Canyon minion. Making Ilya have to flash away. But, you know, I'm sure he'd rather blow the flash than go ahead and die.
Yeah,
but either
you
way,
gotta love the minion block.
They do go ahead and claim the kill onto Silas. It looks like they're going to go ahead and claim their second tower of the game. Actually, check that. As Garmor and Itro, they are there. That's going to be some damage down on the Pike. He's going to be taken low. And it's going to be Garmor claiming the kill on the fadeaway. As Garmor does go down for the second time here in this game. But of course, the rest of Mediocre at best, they're not done. Dark Binding is going to be spell shielded. Nice timing here from JJ Doggy as preventing anything there. So they don't get the tower, and they do lose 1 in the process. That can be a net victory, at least right now, for Lionheart. Of course, things may change in a heartbeat. You see BB down below split pushing his heart out as he's trying to take that bot lane tier 1 tower.
Yeah,
like he's going to go ahead and do so, yeah.
He'll have TP up, so if they need him anywhere, he can TP there. And Kassadin, just as a champion with his ultimate, is really good about making rotation.
Yeah, TP up in about 20 seconds for the Kassadin as he goes ahead and backs off for now. Another turret going down. That's going to be the mid lane tier 1. Morgana during all of that, taking the turret for herself. So 2 towers to 1 here at 18 minutes. 21 kills so far in this game, averaging more than a kill a minute. Definitely a violent game. Of course, game 1 we saw pretty violent, if I do say so myself. Game 2, I think we saw 53 kills or 58 kills or something to that tune. And then this game on a pretty solid pace as well. But that's the fun. I love aggressive games. I don't like those 7-2 games that you see in the pro scene. I like the kills that are bloody. But in Frozone, he might find himself going down once again. Ilya on a rampage. The Pike ultimate not going to be in time. As Pike is going to go ahead and claim that kill, but Pike is going to get the assist for that one. Nice hook coming out from Zabuti to go ahead and extend, to add himself another assist. There's another stun going down on to Garmor. He's just going to go ahead and flag and drag away, but Zabuti still in the area. That Pike ever present. As you see, Firelord, Bob Joe, BB going to go ahead and trade some blows up in the top side. See, just Mediocre at best, just hanging around on the flank. All 4 members of the team just in the middle of Lionheart's jungle.
Yeah, they're putting the Kassadin in those solo lanes. He's just still farming up, trying to get strong. I would bet that they're banking on him getting to late game and just finally hitting that power.
Yeah, Cassidy's strongest when he hits level 16, but you got to get there first. There's the hook down onto Sivir. Sivir going to walk away. The ultimate is down from Lucian. The Nami wave not going to find anybody. And so that will end the fight. A couple of ultimates not finding the mark there. As you see, once again, the Cassidy and the Gangplank continuing to just trade blows up there in the top side. You do see they're once again on Dragon. That is going to be Mediocre at best, continuing to push their advantages. That's going to be a Mountain Drake, our third different Drake of the game. We'll see if got ourselves an Ocean Drake for Dragon number 4, but you do see here the Gangplank in a little bit of trouble. Garmor on his way up top. The ultimate is going to be dropped. There is the Jarvan ultimate, and it's going to be Cassidy who claims the kill. He's 1-1-4 on the board here with his first kill onto the Gangplank. By the way, the 4th Dragon, not going to be an Ocean Drake. We have not seen an Ocean Drake here today, I should note. It is going to be a 2nd Infernal.
Getting Cassidy on that board, letting him farm up, hopefully trying to get that Infernal. Right now, Mediocre at best has been on top of all of the objectives. They've gotten every single dragon. They got the Rift Herald. Their rotations have been really on.
Yeah, certainly pushing the objectives where you can. When you start to push the enemy team in, like they have done so with the towers and pushing in waves, you're able to get those bigger objectives, such as you know, dragons, such as barons, such as Rift Herald, etc., etc. Cassidy tier stacks, by the way, that should be important to note, but hold on, we'll talk about it here after this fight maybe disengages. There we go. Cassidy has 500 stacks on ye old tier. Currently charting that one up, should get there relatively soon as they continue to try to scale that champion up. So anyway,
Pike.
hitting the Pike.
Yep, Pike with his first lethality item too, so.
It does have the Dusk Blade. Don't remember what Caulfield builds into, but
He
does
might
have one for a Yomu's.
Yomu's Ghostblade has Caulfields.
See, I don't play lethality champions enough to know what each of those items builds into. I'm more of a mage player, more of a 80 carry, so to speak. But you do see here Pike and Hecarim on the prowl. There's the flash hook, going to connect onto the Jarvan. Jarvan going to have the flash away. Doesn't have the flag and drag for just a little bit. BB's there to provide a little bit of relief, though. And Altro missing the wave on the way out. That's another Nami ultimate down. And Sivir going to find its way onto the backside. Looks like we may have ourselves a fight, but a lot of ultimates are down. There's the Morgana ultimate going to come down. The Hecarim ultimate going to find a lot of them. That's going to be the Hecarim going down 3-0 here at this stage. Garmor, he's going to have to be on the run. That's a big fight for Mediocre at best.
A massive fight. That Hecarim ultimate was key there. He took everybody, their health just drained completely, and they're moving right on the Baron.
Yeah, they're going to be on to the Baron. There's the Pike execute. Got one in the middle of that fight. Just going to go ahead and use it for a little bit of extra damage. Looks like this Baron is going to go down without too much trouble. Mediocre at best, yet another objective. They have been firmly in control of this game from the get-go. 11k gold lead here for the Mediocre at best squad.
Nami with her Ninja Tabby just finished Ethine's Unholy Grail, so we'll see if she can possibly get some healing out for her team, use some ults to disengage some of those fights.
Yeah, of course, the last 2 waves we've seen from the Lionheart Esports support, not the greatest, if I do say so myself. Both of them not able to find the mark here. As you see Pike once again looking for the Engage. Sivir just going to stop in Spell Shield. That's about as simple as it can be. Protect herself for the time being. But you see here, Mediocre at best, awfully aggressive, looking to try to find fights anywhere they can. The Pike trying to find another hook, not going to find it. And he's just going to go ahead and dash away. Maybe a chance to engage on there, but they're not going to do so. Ultra going to have to flash away as Gabriel Princep just going to go in for it. Garmor, he's going to be hooked in by the Pike. Jarvan actually going to find the kill onto the Lucian. But you do see Hecarim in the back of the fight just causing havoc. And we do see Pike, he's going to go ahead and pick up the kill onto Garmor. All in all, a 3-for-1. As a Mediocre at best continue to just take fights where they know they can win. That's a double kill for Zabuti as Frozone going to go down without too much fanfare. The TP is in for Fire Lord Bob Joe. He just joins in at the back of that fight as it looks like they might just try to go ahead and use that Baron to push in more towers.
BB didn't have a very good way into that fight, and by the time they got there, there wasn't much they could do. Silas took the Hecarim ult and tried to get onto the Morgana, but with the Morgana CC and the Pike ult, he just wasn't able to do anything.
22 kills to 9 here at 23 minutes. 2 towers taken as a result of that fight. Looks like now they're going to go ahead and turn their attention to the top side, just using that Baron to their full advantage. Don't have a wave coming up for quite some time, so they're just going to go ahead ahead and have to maybe think about doing something else. You see the minions coming in from the backside. It looks like they're just going to go ahead and reset and let Lionheart Esports clear out some of those minions from their top wave tier 2.
Lucian right now with 3 completed items to Siver's 1.
Yeah, definitely. That is still a recurring theme, Summer. All 3 games today, we have seen 1 ADC pop off and 1 ADC kind of been left back in the dust. In the first game, of course, you saw the G3 Reapers ADC kind of fall behind. In game number 2, you saw the Monster Mash ADC kind of fall behind. Now in game 3, you do have a 4K gold difference between Gabriel Princip and JJ Doggy. And of course, you see here's Djibouti. He's going to go ahead and try to 1v1 the ADC. He's going to do so. Of course, that's just Pyke in a nutshell. Stupid champion. Nerf that shoot 100%. And he's going to go ahead and claim kill number 5.
Interesting. Yeah, Pyke definitely a lot of damage. He is 5, 2, and 6 with 2 lethality items completed and his MABvsLHE. So I'm not surprised he was able to go in there and just completely annihilate this.
If you ever wondered what I feel about Pyke, there you go. But I won't hide it. Stupid champion. I think this game this works with him, but it's fine. Djibouti playing him to his full effectiveness right now, looking really good on that Pyke support. As you see here, they're just going to keep pushing things in. BB just split pushing up top. He is going to claim the tower, but it looks like Hydro might be the one to fall. He is going to fall as Gabriel Princip claims the first kill of the fight. Hecarim's going to go deep. He finds his way onto Silos. There comes Garmor with the Jarvan ultimate. He's going to keep 2 people secure for now. Of course, that being the Hecarim and the Pyke. As you do see BB, he's going to TP in, but he finds the Dark Binding to the face, and he's going to go down as Gabriel Princip 7-2 as he claims BB's life. Once again, they're going to keep this push going as another Dark Binding going to go down onto the Sivir. She's on a rampage. A double kill for Princip. We might be near the end stage of this fight. The Pyke execute for the ace. This one is over 2-0. Mediocre at best. We'll head into week 2 with 2 2-0 teams.
That Morgana, 6, 2, and 12, and she does so much damage.
About as clean of a victory as we have seen this season. Mediocre at best. Another victory over Lionheart Esports. They move to 0-2, and that will end a very exciting day of games. Of course, Summer, you have nothing better to do. You give me your MVP vote this time around. Don't make me do it myself this time.
Okay, MVP vote. Off the bat, like default, I want to say Lucian, but in my heart, I know it's the Morgana. She did so well mid and was there for every team fight. Her bindings were on point and won a lot of those team fights with her team.
You know, I, being the contrarian I am not going to pick the Pyke, nor the Lucian, nor the Morgana. I want to go ahead and give it to the jungler. I want to give it to Hecarim, because if you look at the scoreline, 8-1 and 9, if you take out what was essentially a very stupid death at the Blast Cone given to the Nami, that's an 8-0 and 9 Hecarim with quite a bit of kill participation, and he did quite a bit of work into the backline of the fights, diving towers, destroying people. I think in one fight, they weren't the backline of whatchamacallit, Lionheart wasn't even able to get into the fight because they were dead. Because Ilya was able to just dive back there and claim their lives before they could even get there. So, you know, we can talk about Lucian, we can talk about Pyke, we can talk about Morgana, we can talk about all that. We can shove some energy up the ass of the bot lanes all night. But I am a contrarian at heart, and I will give credit to the jungler. Because, you know, junglers, they always complain. You look at threads on Reddit and the league boards and everywhere you go, and you see, well, junglers never get the support. Well, there you go. I'm going to give him some support.
I will say, Ilya did so well tonight with going on to objectives and making sure they got every dragon, they got Rift Herald. You know, he was there for everything, and they all rotated really well to just keep control of the game. They got momentum, and they just kept going with it.
Yeah. So, that being said, we're going to go ahead and end the night here tonight. It's been fun. 3 games, 3 very exciting games. If you need to recap tonight, RAWR are the victors in game number 1. Nocturnal Dragons, the victors in game number 2. And Mediocre at best, they go ahead and claim the victory here in game number 3 over Lionheart Esports. Of course, week number 2 next week going to start off with 3 great matchups. You'll see Mediocre at best. They'll take on Monster Mash in a 2-0 versus 0-2 matchup. Nocturnal Dragons and RAWR going to face off as RAWR looks to maybe extend their winning streak to 3. And Lionheart Esports and G3 Reapers going to play next Saturday. But for Summer Grim, I am LaRue. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. I hope you had as much fun watching tonight, as much fun as I enjoyed bringing it to you. And we'll see you next time here on the Commonwealth League.